Deciding what to quilt in the background areas of your quilt can sometimes be more difficult than quilting the blocks themselves. Hey y'all, it's me, Angela Walters, and welcome to the Free Motion Challenge Quilting Along. In this video, I'm going to give you some suggestions for quilting the background area of the star blocks. You'll learn how I pick designs for background areas. I'll show you how I move from area to area, as well as what I consider when picking a filler design. So let's get to it. Sometimes I like to look at the lines of the pattern and imagine where they would go if they were to continue. I'm going to quilt a diagonal line that's going to come down to here and go the opposite way. Using the reference line on the ruler will help get me those nice 45-degree lines. I love to use the quilting to define the area and then fill it in. So I'll travel along this seam and add a little dot-to-dot quilting in the triangle I've just quilted. And since I'm touching this square in between the stars, I'm going to go ahead and quilt the space using the mitered box design that we saw in the square blocks video. I'm going to fill in the space, but make sure that I return back to the corner I started from. I'm going to get back to the corner that I started from and then travel along the side of the block. Since I'm loving how this design turned out, I'm going to go ahead and echo it a couple of times. This is going to really reinforce the shape and draw attention to the area. If I don't have room for the points of the echoes, I'm just going to travel along the seam to get to the next side. Now I'm going to work on the space in between the star points. Since I'm already doing a little dot-to-dot quilting, I'm going to continue that theme by adding a couple diagonal lines in between those points. I like to go ahead and add all my echoing and straight lines and the main elements, and then come back and add the filler designs. Now in the area around the center block, I'm still going to add some straight lines. I'm just going to connect some different points. I'm going to go from the points of the star to the center and then back out. Then I'll travel along the seams to get to the point of the center block. And why not do a little bit more dot-to-dot quilting? Quilting some wedges in both triangles. Now that I've quilted it, I think I left a little bit too much room open in here. So I'm going to add a little bit more quilting to really build this up. I'm going to quilt a diamond shape that extends out from that point. I'm going to echo the inside and then move along. Oh, I love how that looks. I got a lot of detail going on, so I'm going to add a few more echo lines and continue working my way along the points of my stars. It takes a lot longer to quilt the first row of any area than it does to quilt the rest of it. Once I have a plan, I've got it figured out, I know that the quilting is going to go much quicker. You might be tempted to think that since I do a lot of quilting, I always know what the quilt's going to look like, but that's not the case. More often than not, I just get started and then adapt as I go. I know it can be a little scary at first, but I promise the more you do it, the easier it gets. I'm using this dark purple thread so you can really see where I'm going on the camera. Of course, I wouldn't necessarily suggest this for your quilt. If you bought the coordinating thread collection, this is the perfect place to use that lemon ice color. That light yellow is going to blend in with the background and give it just a little hint of sheen. Now that I have the main elements quilted, it's time to fill in all the rest of the space with an all-over design. Since I don't have the benefit of a lot of time to quilt this, I'm going to do a wishbone design. It's perfect for filling in those irregular areas, and I know I can quilt this design pretty quickly. The purpose of the filler quilting is to kind of smash down the area and let those straight lines really pop out. So it really doesn't matter what I quilt. I could do wishbones, swirls, anything that's going to be nice and consistent in spacing. Once I have one side quilted, it's time to do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll be finished. Creating secondary designs with the quilting is one of my favorite things to do. Sometimes it's just as easy as connecting those points. Now, if you're quilting along with me, go ahead and fill in the area around your star blocks with the designs of your choice. Of course, you don't have to use the dot-to-dot designs or the wishbones. You can do whatever you'd like in those areas. The most important thing is that you fill it in. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back soon with another video tutorial. Happy quilting!